Good morning. Today we will see first lesson An Astrologer's Day by R.K. Narayan. Astrologer means the person who tells about the future of life or the person who predicts about life. That person is called a astrologer. So, what things he require to see the future of the human being? The things he require are covers, chart, some mystic charts are there, palmyra writing is there, as well as one parrot is there, number of papers, and some other mystical things. Sometimes some astrologers are taking the help of numerology, means numbers, and they are telling fortune to the people. Number of uh, astrologers are there. Someone are there, they are seeing the palm of the person and they are telling about the future of the man. Why an astrologer's day is there? What is the meaning of this title? Because in this lesson, R.K. Narayan, our writer, described or depicted an astrologer, and a certain incident happened in his life. Of course, the incident is critical incident, and that critical incident he handled very wisely, cleverly, using his presence of mind, and that's why he could save his life. And so, writer has given the title An Astrologer's Day, which is very apt for this lesson. Now, there are some values which we will learn or imbibe in our personality from this lesson, and you will get these values on the back side, no, on the left side of this textbook, left side paper. Please look into this chart, blue colored chart. There are some values, and these values you will get in this lesson. Of course, you have to imbibe these values in your life also. So, what are these values? Wit, then humor, astuteness, and ingenuity. You know the words wit and humor. Astuteness means the cleverness or the cunningness of mind or intellectual ability to penetrate deep into the ideas. That is called astuteness. Cunningness, astuteness, same words are there. Ingenuity. These are the values which we require to do the business of an astrologer. Ingenuity means, of course, cleverness. So, you will get all these values in the character of an astrologer, which is painted by R.K. Narayan. So, let us see the introductory part of this lesson. See the something about writer R.K. Narayan. The period is 1906 to 2001. Rasipuram Krishna Swami Iyer, Narayan Swami was one of the best known novelists among Indian English writers. So he was English writer, and as well as he wrote novels. He is the author of 14 novels, 5 volumes of short stories, and a number of travelogues. Travelogues means the book which describe about the traveling incidents, or the book which have the description of traveling incident, that is called a travelogue. So he wrote such type of travelogues also, and has a collection of non-fiction to his credit. Non-fiction stories also he has written. He also wrote his memoir, that is My Days. Memoir means his memory. This book consists his memory. which is written in 1975. Narayana created the imaginary town of Malgudi, where realistic characters in a typically Indian setting lived amid unpredictable events. In this book, he depicted the characters which are very typical Indian characters and how they are living their life, which is completely unpredictable. Unpredictable events of these villagers' life are described in this book, that is My Days, which is a memoir of R.K. Narayan. His stories are grounded in compassionate humanism. He handled compassionate humanism in his book and celebrated the humor and energy of ordinary life. Means in his book you will get a number of examples of humor. He he noted, he observed the humor in the characters, real characters in the world, and he depicted that humor in his lesson, as well as he observed the energy of ordinary people, and he depicted that energy, or he gave this energy to his characters. His stories are characterized by a simple style and subtle humor. There is a simple style as well as subtle humor. Number of examples of humor you will get, delicate humors you will get in this lesson. Narayan was introduced to American readers in 1952 by Michigan State University Press. So, this Michigan State University Press prescribed his books for the study. These include Swami and Friends, The Bachelor of Arts in 1937, The Dark Room in 1938, and Astrologer's Day and Other Stories in 1947. Mr. Sampath in 1949, The Financial Expert 1954, Waiting for Mahatma, that is 1955, The Guide 1958, and many other books. See, The Guide, which is very famous book, and there is one famous movie based on this book. The name of the movie is Guide, and Devanand, the famous actor, give a very good justice to this theme, and perhaps that's why. And of course, the worthy writing of R.K. Narayan, he got an award for this writing. Narayan was, his novel The Guide won him the Sahitya Academy Award in 1961, the most coveted literary honor in India. Coveted means desired. This honor, Sahitya Academy honor, it was coveted by number of writers. Desired, a number of writers were desiring for this honor, for this award, and he got this award for his writing, that is The Guide. Literary honor in India, his writing is distinguished by humor and unoffending irony, a unique, uh, a unique Indianness and simplicity which is utterly charming and authentic. His writing is distinguished. Distinguished means specialized by humor. He is very skillful using humor. Number of humorous incident you will get in this lesson, as well as unoffending irony. Irony means what? Means actual saying, and the meaning behind this saying is different. That is called irony. It is just like sarcasm. But sarcasm and irony, there is a little bit difference. Sarcasm is made for fun. Irony, the purpose of iron is not only the fun. A unique Indianness. He painted the characters. He painted the atmosphere or the situation which is very perfect for the Indian people. As well as you will get simplicity, which is utterly charming and authentic. Charming means attractive. As well as the simplicity is authentic. Authentic means genuine, very real. Narayan typically portrays the peculiarities of human relationship and the ironies of Indian daily life. He portrays means he depicts, he describes peculiar peculiar of human relationship. Whatever qualities he got, whatever specialities of human relationship he got in India, he painted all these in his books, as well as ironies of Indian daily life. His style is graceful. It is there is dignity. There is a dignity in his style, marked by marked by the marked by the genial humor, clearance, and simplicity. Marked by genial humor, elegance, and simplicity. So, his writing is marked by the humor. Number of humors means we know you will get there, as well as it is graceful, dignity is there, and simplicity also is there. Now, see the lesson, actual lesson. Punctually at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment, which consisted of a dozen cowrie shells, a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts on it, a notebook, and a bundle of palmari writing. See, whatever are the professional equipments of an astrologer, the picture of all these equipments you can see here. Just a teacher requires some professional equipments, that is blackboard, chalk, duster, and number of other things. The same way, to do the job of an astrologer or to run the business of an astrologer, we require certain equipments, certain things. And what are these things? So it consists dozen of cowrie shells, ज्याला आपण कवड्या म्हणतो. Look into the picture. There are number of cowrie shells, white colored cowrie shells. Then a square piece of cloth, rectangle shaped white chart you are getting. It has put on a piece of cloth, and this chart is obscure. Mystic chart is there. Obscure, mystic means difficult to understand. Mystic means the same. When the common man will look into this chart, he would not get any idea of this, because we require the knowledge of horoscope to understand this chart. Then there is notebook also, and bundle of palmyra writing. A red colored parrot is there, that is a bundle of palmyra writing. Palmyra means dried up leaves of a tree, which is used for writing by the ancient people, ancient rishis and maharshis. And that palmyra writing of that rishis and maharshis is used by an astrologer here. Then there is one parrot is there, then photos of god and goddesses. Then in the circle we are getting zodiac signs. That zodiac signs will help the astrologer to tell about your future. Then palm, hands, palm is there. Then there is the name of number of planets and the symbols of these planets and horoscope. All these things are the equipment of an astrologer. So when there is an activity, describe the professional equipment of an astrologer. So you will get all these equipments. The answer is dozen of cowrie shells, square piece of cloth, obscure mystic charts, notebook, and bundle of Palmyra writing. His forehead was resplendent with sacred ash and vermilion. Look into the picture. One side there are two persons and a red colored shirt. There is a turban on his head. His forehead means the upper part of the face, means जो eyebrows है, eyebrows के ऊपर का part देखो. His forehead was resplendent. Resplendent means very bright. With sacred ash. Sacred means holy ash, जिसको हम मराठी में विभूति बोलते हैं. He applied that sacred ash on his forehead. And in the center of that sacred ash, you will get a vermilion, means red colored dot. That is tika. हम उसको टीका बोलते हैं. Red colored dot, that is vermilion. He applied that vermilion in the center of that sacred ash, and because of that sacred ash, his forehead became resplendent, bright, attractive. And how are his eyes? His eyes sparkled with a sharp, his eyes are sparkled with, just a minute, sharp abnormal gleam. Sharp abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of continual searching look for customers. How were his eyes? Sharp abnormal gleam. There was a great shine in his eyes. The shine which was abnormal. कुछ अलग तरह का शाइन था उसके आँखों में. अलग तरह के आँख थी जिसमें बहुत सारा ब्राइटनेस था. And what does it indicate? His eyes were indicating that there is a great thirst or the search for the customer in his eyes. He was looking for the customers to get money, but which his simple clients, okay, just a minute, which his simple clients took to be a prophetic light. What meaning the clients were taking? His eyes, there was a gleam in his eyes. And the meaning of the gleam is that there is a great thirst for his customers. But simple clients, simple people were not able to understand the meaning of that gleam and what meaning they were taking out of these eyes. They were thinking that there is a gleam means the astrologer is very holy person. This is a prophetic light, and that's why people were gathering around him, felt comforted. People started believing the power of his eyes was considerably enhanced by their position, placed as they were between the planted forehead and the dark whiskers which streamed down his cheeks. The position of the eyes makes great matter here, because the eyes became very attractive. Why? Because the place of the eyes, it was between the painted forehead. There was a painted forehead, means white colored ash, and a red colored dot is there. So it is painted forehead and the dark whiskers. जैसे मूछ रहती है ना, black colored dark whiskers, and in between there are shiny eyes, and these whiskers streamed down his cheeks. Even a half-wit's eyes. Half-wit means a common man or the person who is not much intellectual. Even simple man's eyes or his attention would sparkle in such a setting. That was the appearance of the astrologer, and so a common man would attract towards him. To crown the effect means to add the beauty, or to add the mystic situation. He wore a saffron colored turban around his head. He used that there is a turban which is on his head, a red colored turban, saffron colored turban is there. Saffron means keshari ranga. Turban around his head. This color scheme never failed. Because of that color scheme, his appearance became very attractive. He never failed to attract the customer towards him. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted to cosmos or dahlia stalks. Some insects are there, bees are there. Naturally, these bees are attracted towards dahlia stalks, a certain type of plant. The same way, people were attracting around him, just like that bees. There is a comparison. He sat under the boughs of spreading tamarind tree, which flanked a path running through the town hall park, where he was sitting. He was sitting under the boughs of spreading tamarind tree. Tamarind tree means chinchecha झाड. Boughs means branches. He was sitting under the branches of tamarind trees, which flanked a path running through the town hall park. From there, the people were coming from the town hall. So this was very remarkable place, which was joining the town hall park. It was a remarkable place in many ways. So why it was remarkable? The description is given now. A surging crowd was always moving up and down this narrow road, because there is a great crowd, surging crowd, great crowd or increasing crowd. From morning till night, number of people were coming from morning till night. A variety of trades and occupations, trades means business, occupations was represented all along its way. On the side of the way, number of business trades were settled there. Medicine sellers were there, then sellers of stolen hardware was there, then junk foods you will get there, magicians were there, and above all, an auctioneer of cheap cloth. Auctioneer means जैसे लोग लीलाव करते हैं, चीप सस्ते में कुछ बेचते हैं इकट्ठा, ऐसे जैसे बल्क में बेचते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं ऑक्शनियर ऑफ चीप क्लोथ. हम लीलाव करने, ऐसा उसको बोलते हैं. हु क्रिएटेड इनफ डीन all day to attract the whole town. Din means noise. All these people were creating enough din and the whole day, and that's why people were towards there, attracting whole town. Next to him in vociferousness came a vendor of fried groundnut. Vociferousness means loudly. There was also a groundnut vendor. Vendor means seller. And he was roaring loudly to sell his fried groundnuts, who gave his ware a fancy name. In this para, we will see the picture of marketplace. So, groundnut seller was there, and he was giving number of attractive names to his groundnut. And what are the names? Just see, you will get the marketing skill of him. So, he was he was giving name each day, that is Bombay ice cream to his groundnut. One day, on the next day, he was giving another name, that is Delhi almond. And on the third day, he was giving something different, that is Raja's delicacy, and so on and so forth. Means in this way, different names he was giving each and every day, so that people were attracting towards him. This is the marketing skill. People attracted and flocked to him a considerable portion of this crowd dallied before the astrologer too. People were attracting all around him. Flocked means coming together. And a considerable portion of this means the great part of the crowd dallied before the astrologer. Dallied means they were gathering all around the astrologer, and astrologer was getting the clients from this crowd. The astrologer transacted his business by the light of a flare which crackled and smoked up above the groundnut heap nearby. Where he was sitting, there was by the side of him there was one groundnut seller, and there is a great heap of the groundnut. On that heap there is one lantern. Flare means light, a light of the lantern, which was crackled and smoked up. There was smoke from this lantern, and our astrologer was getting light from this lantern, which was not of his own, but he was using the light of that groundnut seller's lantern. जो बाजू में ग्राउंडनट सेलर था, उसका जो लैंटर्न था, उसकी जो रोशनी आ रही थी, उसी रोशनी में वो अपना काम करता था. Half the enchantment of the place was due to the fact that it did not have the benefit of municipal lightning. Let us see. That atmosphere become mystical, and it is because there was not municipal lighting. There was red colored, yellow colored lighting, and so that the atmosphere become very suitable for the astrologer. The place was lit up by the shop lights. Number of shops were there, and shops light was lighted the place. Market picture is there. Market's description you will get here. One or two had hissing gaslight. Some sellers were there. They had hissing gaslight. Hissing, it is onomatopoeic word. Hissing sound. Some gaslights are there. Means lanterns are there, and that lanterns are making a certain a certain type of sound that is called a hissing sound. Hissing is a onomatopoeic word. Some had naked players stuck on poles, while as some sailors were there, and these sailors were the certain poles, cans, and there was naked flare. जैसे ओपन दीवार रहता है ना, वैसे था. Some were lit up by the old cycle lamps. Some sailors had the cycle, and there was lamp on their cycle. One or two, like the astrologer, managed without light of their own. Astrologer was there, but astrologer had not his own light. He was managing his work in the light of other. The same way, there are some other one or two sailors. They also were managing like the astrologer in the light of others. It was a bewildering crisscross of light rays and moving shadows. Bewildering means confusing crisscross. Number of lights were coming, and these lights had created a bewildering situation, and it was very suitable for the astrologer. Light rays and moving shadows. That was the situation, that was the atmosphere created by the light. This suited the astrologer very well, for the simple reason that he had not in the least intended to be an astrologer when he began life, and he knew no more of what was going to happen to others that he knew what was going to happen to himself next minute. Let us see, this sentence is very important. He himself even did not know his own future, as well as he did not know the future of the people, because he was not much studied, or he didn't have the knowledge of that horoscope and all these things. But still, he was telling the future to the people. He was predicting the people's life. How? Though he didn't have the knowledge of this, by using his soft skills. So, what are the soft skills? We have seen in the beginning, that is presence of mind, cleverness, wise. He was very wise, he was cunning, he was penetrating deep into the mind of the people, and because of all these qualities, he could run his business as an astrologer. So, going to happen to others than he knew what was going to happen to himself next minute. He was as much a stranger to the stars as were his innocent customers. See, who were the customers of astrologer? Innocent people. जैसे innocent people को खुद का भविष्य नहीं पता रहता है, the same way astrologer also did not know the future of that innocent clients. Still he was running the business. उसको भी उसका फ्यूचर पता नहीं था, लेकिन फिर भी वो बिजनेस कर रहा है. क्यों? क्योंकि खुद की जो सॉफ्ट स्किल्स है वो यूज़ कर रहा है. जैसे देखो, मार्केट में हमको कोई बिजनेस करना है, चाहे अपने पास का माल अच्छा हो या ना हो, लेकिन अपना स्किल अगर अच्छा है तो हम अपना माल बेच सकते हैं. द सेम वे, येट ही सेड थिंग्स विच प्लीज्ड एंड एस्टोनिश्ड एवरीवन. Whatever future he was telling to the people, it was very attractive, because he was telling the people, his clients, which will please them, which will astonish them. जो उनको अच्छा लगे, जो उनको आश्चर्य क्रिएट करें, उनके माइंड में कुछ वंडरफुल फीलिंग क्रिएट करे, ऐसा कुछ वो बात करता था. इसकी वजह से लोग उसके पास आते थे. Yet he said things which pleased and astonished everyone. That was more a matter of study. And how it was possible to tell that astonished things or pleased things to the clients? Of course, it was a matter of study. He studied the mind of the people, the nature of the people, society. Then practice. He did a very good practice of this. Then shrewd grace work. His guessing ability was very good. He was very shrewd to understand the mind of other, and because of these qualities, he could run his business of an astrologer. उसके वो कनिंग था, दूर था, लोगों का मन के अंदर की बात वो अच्छे से मालूम करता था. वो इंटेलेक्चुअल पावर उसके पास थी, और उसी की वजह से वो अपना बिजनेस चला रहा था. All the same, it was as much as honest man's labor as any other. As the honest man, labor means hard work. Honest man works hard to get the money, to get the payment. The same way, astrologer also was working hard to get the customers and of course money. So he was not getting money freely. He also required, though he did not know the knowledge, he did not know the predict of the people, still he was using his soft skills, and that's why he could run his business. And he deserved the wages he carried home at the end of the day. Every day, at the end of the day, he was carrying some money. His wage. Wage means the money he got, telling the future. That is wage. तो पगार त्याचा. And here R.K. Narayan said that he deserved for that wage. Means he was not getting that money free, because he used his study, he used his intellectual power, he was taking great efforts for that, and that's why whatever money he was getting, it deserved. Okay, thank you. We will see the next part in the next lecture. Thanks.